everyone, I'm Nixie and we are here today to talk about my top 10 ongoing manga series. So I've been watching Riley over at the Omnibus Collector here on YouTube, and every year he does like his top 10 ongoing manga series, and it got me thinking about like my collection and what I would consider my top 10 ongoing manga series, and it was really hard actually to try and just narrow it down to these 10. So that's what we're going to talk about today. If you are enjoying the manga videos, then don't forget to like and subscribe, and let's get into my top 10 ongoing manga series. So there are some criteria that for the series to make it into the top 10, so there must be actually ongoing in country of origin, not just here in the UK, so not completed in like Japan. Also, as well, to help me narrow it down even further, these are series as well with 3 or more of the volumes. I think that's a good amount to know whether you really love a series or not. So yeah, all of these have at least 3 volumes, but yeah, let's start going through them. So number 1 in my list is, no surprise, is Go With The Clouds North by Northwest. So this is by Aki Eri, and this to me is such a underrated series. Like, I don't really see anyone talking about it. I don't know whether it's because it's, at least for me, it's kind of harder to get the volumes. The only place that I've been able to actually order these was off Amazon, which I don't like using Amazon for like manga orders because they usually come damaged, but thankfully I've had good luck with this series. So this is, the story takes place in Iceland at Land's End, 64 degrees north. So Kai is a 17-year-old with 3 secrets. He can talk to cars, he can't handle pretty girls, and he works as a private investigator. One case has him searching for a beloved dog, another involves reuniting a woman with a man she fell in love for at first sight, and then comes a case that strikes close to home, searching for his own little brother. Tag along as this globe-spanning journey unfolds. So currently there's 5 volumes out. Number 6 comes out in September, I believe, this year, or it's supposed to. And this, for me, I had no idea what this series was about really, because I saw volume 1, and as you can see on the back, there's no description or anything like that on the back of the books. But it was purely the covers that got me, in this beautiful matte textured, and as you can see, it's just gorgeous artwork. So that's basically why I picked it up in the first place. And to me, this is a real page turner. When I started reading the first volume, it was just like I had to know what happened. Like I couldn't pull it down. Volume 2, which is this one in particular, I really did enjoy, because like I say, the artwork is absolutely gorgeous, and the creator really does take the time to draw out these like Icelandic environments. Volume 2 in particular, which is where one of Kai's friends comes to visit him from Japan, and so they actually do a lot of touristy things, go sightseeing, like you can see here. So this kind of is like a bit of a breather volume in the series so far, which I really enjoyed. So yeah, they're just going off doing like lots of touristy things, but yeah, lots of touristy things. So it is kind of like, you get the feeling of what Iceland is like, at least from the mind of this creator, like how they see Iceland, like the cultures, the food, how they live, and all that sort of stuff. But as well as that, the actual main story, what's going on, because it is kind of like a mystery detective storyline, and it is really intriguing, and I don't know where it's going to go. And yeah, like it says, it's a very close to home mystery that Kai is trying to unfold. So I can't wait to see like where more of it goes. I need to pick up the latest volume, volume 5, because I need to know what happens. But I highly recommend this one for people who love you know, more detailed artwork, mysteries, bit of crime in there, and all that sort of stuff. With supernatural twist as well. I highly recommend this. I need to see more people talk about this because I love this series so much. Like I say, the artwork is just what gets me the most. So number 2, this is like in no particular order actually, but the second one that I've got on my list, if my background doesn't give it away, it is Sasuke and Miyano. I freaking love this series so much, and there's an anime as well. There's one season out of the anime if you don't particularly want to read manga, and then there's a movie also coming out as well, but I love this one. So this is Sasuke and Miyano by Shu Harusono. So Miyano spends his days peacefully reading boys' love comics and worrying about how girly his face is, until a chance encounter leads to a scuffle with his senior Sasuke. Intrigued by his feisty junior Miyano, delinquent Sasuke uses every opportunity he can to get closer. So this is 6 volumes, obviously ongoing. There is a spin-off series as well, which is just being released, which is about the mutual friend and his roommate, and oh my god, this is the cutest story, like the cutest romance you will ever find. Like nothing will top this, at least in my eyes. It is suitable for more ages, like it's non-explicit, it is rated, it's just rated teen, but this is one of these where like it makes you feel like all giggly and warm inside. Like it's just so cute. That's all that I can say about it. I love these two. People are so understanding about like their relationship, and it's not a toxic environment or anything like that either, so it's a really pleasant read. It is just more of coming to terms with feelings, realizing feelings, and how their relationship is blossoming. And these volumes cannot come out quick enough for me. It's so cute. I love the artwork as well, the way that she draws her characters as well. So this is Sasuke having an absolute panic. But yeah, I love the artwork. It's super cute. Have I said that yet? It's super cute. But yeah, their interactions with each other as well. There's a lot of panic that goes off, and it's just, yeah, it's just such a pleasant read. So yeah, highly recommend this if you like romance, if you like BL, or if you're new to BL and you want to sort of like dip your toes in. This is an absolute fantastic series for that, if you just want to, you know, see what it's like. I mean, it is romance at the end of the day. Super cute. Okay, next we have Kaiju number 8. Naoya Matsumoto wrote this. This is a good action series. With the highest kaiju emergence rates in the world, Japan is no stranger to attack by deadly monsters. Enter the Japan Defense Force, a military organization tasked with the neutralization of kaiju. Kafka, a kaiju corpse cleanup man, has always dreamed of joining the force, but when he gets another shot at achieving his childhood dream, he undergoes an unexpected transformation. How can he fight kaiju now that he's become one himself? Question mark. So I discovered this not long after the first volume came out, which is this one. There is 5 volumes, number 5 has just come out. But yeah, I discovered this not long after the first one had come out, and I just saw it like in the bookstore. And I was kind of like looking to branch out my collection. And I saw this and I hadn't really seen anyone like talking about it, so I was like, I'll just give it a go. The cover looks interesting, kaiju, monsters, sure. I'm so glad that I picked this up. This is a great paced manga. Like, it's quick paced, but it flows really well. A great amount of action in it as well. But the humor as well, like, it's really funny as well. Like, throughout there's like, you know, all this serious stuff going off, and then there's like drops bits of humor, which I like. So it breaks it up, and all the characters are really developed, and they're quite big characters that you see in this, like all fighting for the attention of the spotlight. But yeah, I love this series. Like I say, it was the humor that got me, because I didn't really know what I was getting myself into. The artwork is great, but yeah, like I say, the humor in like the first couple of chapters when like everything goes down really got me. Like it's one of the series that like actually makes me laugh out loud. So I highly recommend this. Like you can read it on the Shonen Jump as well, like if you don't want to wait for the physicals. But yeah, if you like action, if you like kaiju, I know there's quite a few series out there based around like kaiju monsters and stuff. Definitely pick this up if you haven't already. I know it's really popular now, but yeah, definitely check this one out. And then next we have Don't Be Cruel. So this is Yonezo Nekotaro. Yeah, I'm butchering everyone's names, I'm really sorry. So this is when a playboy falls for a nerd, chemistry resulting in an explosive reaction. Playboy Maya catches studious Nemo Gasa cheating on a test, and to ensure his silence, Maya blackmails Nemo into doing whatever he wants. But is this merely just a ruse so Maya can spend more alone time with him? Question mark. This is a really long series. This is 11 volumes of the main story, there's 2 volumes of side stories, and then there's a 1 volume of a spin-off story about one of the characters. So it is really long and it is ongoing. We're going to get volume 12 in May time-ish, middle of the year I think. Yeah, it is volume 11. I was like, is it? Yeah. Yeah, so volume 11, sorry, is going to be coming out in the middle of this year. Even though this obviously is a romance, BL, so even though their relationship starts off quite toxic, obviously with like the blackmail and everything, I love these two together. Like I like how the creator is developing their relationship with each other from the start starts off like in high school in a really toxic way, but it shows them developing together and growing up into adulthood as well, and you know, like getting first jobs and first place, like first homes and all that sort of stuff. And I love how these two are learning to be in a relationship with each other from that like toxic start and everything. It's an emotional roller coaster as well, like some of the situations that they find themselves in, like because of other people or misunderstandings between each other, like it is kind of relatable as well, and it does get you in the feels, I think. And so it's like a wild ride, but then when they make up with each other, like it makes it all that more sweeter, if that makes sense. But I love the dynamic of these two. You know, Maya, who's this guy, he's confident, popular, whereas Nemo is, you know, he's academic, nerdy as they would call him, and kind of more in his shell. And I think he's still getting to terms with, like, you know, his relationship with Maya, and trying to achieve like his dreams and his goals as well. But yeah, I love this series as well, obviously. And I can't wait to see more of these two and like how the story continues to develop. Like I say, starting in high school, spanning across into adulthood, you know, you really feel like that you know these characters. So yeah, I love this series so much, obviously. Next we have What Did You Eat Yesterday? This is 19 volumes ongoing, so it is really long. It is a BL. And I think it's probably the longest ongoing BL series that has been published in English. And this is by Fumi Yoshinaga, who I love this creator's work so much. They don't just do BL, they do other stuff as well. But yeah, this is a really long series. So What Did You Eat Yesterday is best described as part comic, part cookbook. And in the narrative, a hard-working middle-aged gay couple in Tokyo come to enjoy the finer moments of life through food. After long days at work, Shiro and Kenji will always have downtime together for the dinner table, where they can discuss their feelings and enjoy delicately prepared home-cooked meals. Not only is food incorporated into the narrative, but the frames actually take readers through the process of preparing meals in great detail, with recipes listed at the end of the chapters. So yeah, it is heavily based around food, but there's just something about this series that I enjoy so much. Like, it's such a relaxing read, and it's nice to see actually a more mature couple in a romance, in a BL, rather than, you know, just the young folk. So they're pretty like set in their ways with regards to settled in with life. There's like little bits of drama here and there, but nothing like crazy. There's nothing like crazy toxic. It's just about a really normal kind of life, and it's so refreshing to read something like this. Like I say, you can just read through it. It's really pleasant, really enjoyable. It doesn't take too much on the brain either. It's not too taxing, and actually some of the recipes sound delicious, so it gives you some ideas as well of things that, you know, you could incorporate actually into your own life if you wanted to. So like I say, it's really long, 19 volumes. We're gonna get a few more volumes this year as well. I think you can pre-order up to volume 21. Like I say, I love this creator's work. She's got quite a unique art style, like with her characters. I feel like when you see them, you know that it's her work. But yeah, like I say, it's nice to see a more mature couple that is established, that are comfortable together, and just a very sort of like normal life, which is nice to read every now and again. So yeah, this was one of the first ones that I thought to make it into my top 10, because it's just such a pleasant read. Next we have, I could not have my top 10 without this. This is My Hero Academia. I know, which a lot of people are very familiar with this. It's also obviously a very popular anime. So what would the world be like if 80% of the population manifested superpowers called quirks at age 4? Heroes and villains would be battling it out everywhere. Being a hero would mean learning to use your power, but where would you go to study? The Hero Academy, of course. But what would you do if you were one of the 20% who were born quirkless? Middle school student Izuku Midoriya wants to be a hero more than anything, but he hasn't got an ounce of power in him. With no chance of ever getting into the prestigious UA High School for budding heroes, his life is looking more and more like a dead end. Then an encounter with All Might, the greatest hero of them all, gives him a chance to change his destiny. So this is a long series as well, so 32 volumes ongoing. This has kind of a special place in my heart because it was back when I was getting into anime again. This was one of the ones that like got me back into anime and like watching it way more, and like got me into collecting manga, because I love this so much. It was kind of at a time when I was like feeling a bit when I was a bit like depressed about things, and this kind of like got me through a bit of a time to sort of like just escape from everyday life and just like switch off and watch something like that has a great story. I feel like it has a great story. I love the characters. So yeah, this will always have a special place in my heart and probably will always be in my top 10. The manga is very much like the anime, so I feel like that you only really, if you wanted to, you only really need to do like one or the other, because it is so similar. But I love this. I love like the character arcs that are in it as well, like especially Bakugo's like character arc, which is one of the students, and I love that it is focused around the students, but you also have the teachers who also have their own lives and doing hero work outside of the school and stuff. And then obviously like the villains as well, like you get their backgrounds and their stories and kind of like why they are how they are, which you don't always get in these like superhero stories and stuff. And I do feel like everything is well thought through. like the villain arcs that are in it and the battles and stuff, you kind of think like, oh my god, how are the heroes gonna like come out on top? And you know, they don't always, and I think that's great as well. You know, it's both sides of the coin sort of thing. But yeah, I love this. I don't know how it's gonna end. Like, obviously the current arc that we're going through as well, like, oh my god, I've been keeping up on this with the Shonen Jump app, which is further ahead obviously than the manga, and my god, it is wild. I think the overhaul arc is probably like one of my favorites. Like, I love that, like the whole fight and everything. Like, it keeps you on the edge of your seat about like how are they gonna get through this. But yeah, if you haven't picked it up, I highly suggest it. Like, don't let the things that people say online about, you know, it's not good, blah blah blah. Like, it is a good story, and like I say, the characters are great. Like, I know that My Hero Academia like does get some hate, but it's a well-known series, it's a big series, so it's bound to, like, just either watch the anime, read the manga for yourself to judge it for yourself, basically, because I think this is amazing, and I think that Kohi Horikoshi has done an amazing job with creating these characters, creating these storylines, and I'm so sad that it is going to be coming to an end. I don't want it to, obviously, but I suppose all good things have to at some point. But yeah, definitely in my top 10. And then next we have a series that has more recently got into my top 10, and that is Not So Lonely Planet Travel Guide by Monet Sorry. This has more recently become one of my favourite series. There's 3 volumes out so far, obviously it's an ongoing series. But yeah, this is Super Serious Asahi and laid back Izuka Mizuki. Might seem like an odd couple, but they made a deal. They'll vacation around the world, and when they get back to Japan, they'll get married. As they travel from country to country, the different people, cultures, cuisine they encounter begin to bring them close together. After all, they're not just learning about the world, but about themselves too. This is such a beautiful story, and the creator does an incredible job at depicting these different countries, the different cultures, the different foods, like through their art. This is like one of my top favorite like art styles, like just the way that they detail these different countries, these different places. They've really taken the time out to do that and to depict them so well, like from literally every detail. You know, you've got like the streets, animals, like the food. They've really gone into so much detail, and like it says, it is a worldwide story as well, so you're seeing so much, and as it says, like traveling from country to country, and you do see quite a lot of each country. So the actual places that they visit and the experiences that they have are so beautiful to look at, but these two, like their relationship and stuff, it's so beautiful. Like, and it's one of these stories that weirdly gets me quite emotional, and I don't know why, but like it does. And they're just like how they are together, and you know, learning even more about each other, and just spending that quality time of them meeting new people and having new experiences in like different countries, overcoming fears. It's just such a beautiful story, and like I say, it's quite emotional as well, like how their relationship is developing. And I can't wait for more. I can't, like, this is one of these where I actually can't wait for the end, because I'm really rooting for them. Like, I want them to get married, I want them to like live happily ever after, and like I'm just absolutely rooting for these two. They're so precious. But yeah, this is another one where like I think it's kind of underrated. you know, I think it's kind of an underrated series, but it's so beautiful and it's so detailed to look at, and you feel as though you're right there with them, like traveling the world and, you know, getting to see these other cultures and like the foods that they eat and the people that they meet, and how different cultures and countries are with accepting or not so accepting with like a gay couple being around. But yeah, it's a really, really good read, and it's also quite a relaxing read as well. It's like a very pleasant again. So yeah, I would love for more people to like discover this and to read this, because it is beautiful, and I love these two as well. Now next up, I could not have my top 10 without Ranma Rosaria. So we have Coyote here. Now I know I've said this before, but Ranma Rosaria is my absolute favourite manga creator. I love everything. So Coyote fitted the criteria. It's 4 volumes ongoing, and obviously I love this story as well. Like, I love everything that she puts out. So Coyote is a forbidden romance between a werewolf and a human whose passion conceals a dark secret. Coyote, a werewolf, goes through life hiding his true identity, but when a handsome human pianist catches him in heat, forbidden passion explodes. Coyote avoids getting too involved with humans in order to conceal the fact that he is a werewolf, but Marlene, a pianist at a bar he frequents, is interested in him and just won't take no for an answer. When Coyote suddenly goes into heat for the first time, Marlene catches him while he's unable to maintain his human form and offers up a tempting invitation. Coyote wants to resist Marlene, but can he? Forbidden supernatural romance between a werewolf and a human. So this is currently 4 volumes ongoing, and I love the way Ranma Rosaria like creates her characters. I love how she like styles them. Like, she has a very distinct style, you know. When you see characters, you know that it's her that's drawn them. Like, you know that it's her. You know that it's her style. And it's just so beautiful. She's another one that goes into nice detail with like her environments as well. Like, they're not just sort of like panels with empty space like you can sometimes see in manga. She really does use her space like effectively to put in as much detail without it being overcrowded, and she always creates such characters with so much depth, like so much backstory, so much like development to their arcs, as well as like the interactions between the 2 main characters. There's like a bigger overall story. It's not just about their romance, there's always like a bigger story to that. While you see the main characters developing their relationship and everything, there's so much that goes off, and it's a really interesting story. I love this Coyote. Like, it's one of those, as soon as it hits my door, like, I have to read them, and I'm already waiting for the next one. I'm sad that we don't know when it's going to come out yet, but they're probably going to be released like once a year maybe. They're kind of a bit slow. At least I feel like they're really slow because I want to read more, but I love her work so much. Like I say, favourite creator ever. Her work is very explicit, just FYI, so it's definitely for more mature readers, but like I say, she creates really great BL stories, and I just love her work so much. Like, style, stories, characters, absolutely everything. I feel like you get a real connection with her characters as well, which you don't always get in all the stories that you read, but I feel like you can really connect to a lot of her characters. So yeah, that's why I had to include like Ranma Rosaria, and Coyote I freaking love anyway. Next up we have One Dance by Coffee. So this is a boy named Kabuko sees a girl named Wanda dance, and suddenly burns with the need to join in. With its thrilling scenes of Japanese hip-hop dance and quirky charming characters, this is a new inspirational manga for fans of coming-of-age stories. Get up and join the one dance. Kabuki has always gone with the flow, marching in step to the drumbeat of the expectations of those around him, parents, school, plans for the future. It feels predictable, safe and empty, but one night he's at school late and he happens on a girl alone moving wildly, turning a blank space of concrete into a canvas. This is Wanda, a member of the hip hop dance club. He is immediately smitten, but the road to stepping out of his shell is a long one. The club is almost entirely girls, and they're all, well, way better than him. Well, what's ahead is unknown, and that's terrifying, but it also means for the first time in Kabuki's life, a taste of freedom. This, I feel like a lot of people will relate to. Kabuki, you know, trying to like blend into the background so you know, no one can nitpick with them, and a big part of that for him is because he does have a stutter, and that's one of his biggest insecurities. Like, he feels like you know, the conversation has passed by the time he can get his words out, so he'd rather just blend into the background. And it's so nice to see him like find something that he's passionate about and that he can start to feel more like his own individual person. And I feel like a lot of people will relate to that in their own lives, which is why I love this series so much, is because it is relatable. Like, you don't have to be a dancer to enjoy this. And I do love how the dancing is depicted in this. You know, it's really well drawn, which I feel like is a hard thing to do when it's such a like expressive, you know, obviously big movements dancing. Obviously, like, it's hard to depict that just in pen and paper sort of thing. And I think the creator does a really good job of doing that, and you almost like get lost in the moments yourself while these characters are dancing. And there are some really great characters in this as well that like really do stand out. But yeah, you find yourself really rooting for Kabuki and like his little experiences that he's going through with like the dance club with Wanda. Like, you know, you're rooting for them and you want him to do well. You want him to like become more of his own person and for him to come out of his shell. And it's been such a great read so far. It's 3 volumes so far, but you can pre-order quite a few. Like in Country of Origin there's like 9 volumes I think currently, and obviously it's ongoing, so we've got quite a bit of content to come. But yeah, this is such a great read, and I feel like it's quite different to the stories that, well, to the series that I do have in my collection as well. And I love like expressive arts, which is why like I've been enjoying this as well, with the like all the dancing that's been happening in it. So I love this as well. Like, definitely pick it up, especially if you are like into dance as well. Like, just the way that it's done, it's just, the creator's done a great job with this series so far. So definitely go ahead, pick this up. And we have come to the end. The very last one on my top 10 list is The World's Greatest First Love. This is by Shungiku Nakamura. Sorry, I just butchered that. This is 15 volumes ongoing, so it's quite a large series. And it's the same creator who does Junjo Romantica, which still sad that we only got 12 volumes of that in English, and it's currently 26 volumes in Country of Origin, and I doubt anyone's going to pick up the license for it, which is very sad. But anyway, when Ritsu changes jobs looking for a fresh start, he's not exactly thrilled when his new boss turns out to be his old flame. Ritsu is determined to leave all that in the past, but how can he when his boss is just as determined that they have a future? Tired of accusations that family connections got him his current position, Ritsu quits his job as an editor at his father's company and transfers to Maruokawa, publishing. Once there, he is assigned to the shoujo manga editorial department, something he has no interest in and no experience with. Having sworn he'd never fall in love again, the last thing he wants to do is work on love stories. To make matters worse, it turns out that his overbearing boss, Takano, is actually his first love from high school. This is kind of wild. And because it's such a long ongoing series, like it's, like I say, there's 15 volumes ongoing and it's like 1 volume a year, so it's been going on for quite a while. I love that it's an older style of like artwork. It's very distinct. It's kind of like, you know, more out of proportioned body, like hands and stuff, and like long legs, but I love that art style. This is toxic. Their relationship is toxic. It's kind of a slow burn as well. Like throughout, like a lot of stuff happens, but whereas Takano is very openly, I love you, we're gonna be together whether you like it or not sort of attitude. Ritsu is very much like gay panic, and there's always someone like this coming in to try and like get between these two, or cause trouble. It's like that kind of trope, very problematic, quite toxic. There's not always consent there with things, but I really like this series. It's something that I enjoy when I want something that's a bit more like drama heavy, and a bit more toxic. There is 2 other couples as well that the creators involved throughout the series as well that you do see. They tend to get together a lot quicker than like the main characters and stuff, but they are quite like heavily showed in the series as well. But yeah, I love this series so much. I can't wait for the next volume. I don't know how much longer this is going to go on, but I don't want this one to end. But I also want these two to sort of like sort it out as well. It is explicit, quite explicit, so it is for mature readers as well. But yeah, I freaking love this series, and I really wish that someone would pick up the license for Junjo Romantica as well. Like, you can watch the anime if you wanted to. Same with this has an anime out as well. I know like this and Junjo was a lot of people's like first animes for like BL. So yes, this is like veteran manga series. So yeah, I love this. So that was my top 10 ongoing manga series. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Let me know what your top 10 are like down in the comments below. I'm always open for like new recommendations, and I always like seeing what other people are really into. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you do like the manga series on the channel, because I like creating these videos as well. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, it would really help me out, and I shall see you in the next one. Bye everyone!